be a shame for anything to happen to the city, wouldn't it?
Yeah! Yeah, no, it looks... Yeah, no, I'm sure we'll treat them fairly.
That's not on, that is.
Yeah, it's probably an accident. Do you think there's an accident, maybe? No? I mean, I'm just a farmer from Nern, do you know what I mean? Like, do you think there'll be any farming going on? I was told I'll be farming.
Ooh, do you think we might be the baddies, do you think?
No, we're not the baddies. Come on. Sauron said they'd eat our kids and our wives and that. Didn't he? He said that.
Do you think he could have been lying about that?
Nah, come on, it's Sauron the Great, Sauron the Good. It's not like, Sauron the Terrible, Sauron the Liar, Sauron the Deceiver. Come on, mate.
Hello guys, and welcome to the next instalment of 10mm Lord of the Rings. So this all started when I was challenged by Mr. Hayden from the Wizard's Rush YouTube channel. He's challenged me to build another massive Lord of the Rings 10mm army. Mr. Hayden wished to do the good side, and as I've already got a Gondorian army, I thought this would be the perfect time to build up a lovely Mordor force to fight them on the board. So for this force, there's a number of different units I want to have that I think are iconic and Mordorish. Of course, the Witch King, Wraiths, Fell Beasts, some big beefy Mordor trolls, and of course lots of different varieties of orcs and goblins. And I want to have some generic orc infantry, I want really weak orc infantry, maybe like goblin types, and then I thought I could have Morannons and Blackguard maybe in there as well. And finally, of course, I need some cavalry for this Mordor force, and I'm going to go with some warg riders and some wolves thrown in there as well, just for a fast attack element for the army. And I will be sourcing these from many different locations. For starters, I have been very lucky indeed, and one of the friends of the channel, MiniLotr, link to his channel in the description, very kind, and as I've already said, sent me a full Battle of Five Armies box. This box is full of lots of really cool little details. From this box, I'm going to be using the Orc Command units, the Warg Cavalry, and finally the ranks of cheap, rubbish, throwaway, expendable Goblin infantry. These will probably be used up front to absorb fire and distract the enemy while the rest of my force moves up to engage. Next up for this force, I've got a lot of STLs from Wake's Emporium, and I have been printing out orc infantry and trolls from my 3D printer. Wake's Emporium also does lots of cool STLs of ring wraiths on fell beasts, including this epic one of the Witch King. Like, how cool is that? And finally, I have some orcs left over from my last build that I never fully painted up. These are actually supposed to be Uruk-hai. I thought these would be perfect as my kind of beefier, bigger elite troops, and I'll run these either as Morannons or Blackguard. But I'm not really fully decided on that yet. There are now so many options for 10mm Lord of the Rings. I am super excited to delve into this. There's things for everyone now, from generic fantasy type miniatures done by Pendraken and Cobblestone, to the authentic Weta Lord of the Rings look that Wake's Emporium does. If it's the Weta film style that you really love, definitely check out Wake's Emporium. He has new releases all the time, like he's just released some Lothlorien and Uruk-hai pikes from Helm's Deep. The look of all these Uruk pikes ranked up in 10mm is something I am very, very excited for. There's also a battle report on the channel, and Mr. Ross from Guildlore Gaming joined me with his Haradrim force that he made from loads of different Warmaster Araby miniatures. He also has a video on his collection where you can go have a look. I'll put the link in the description as well. But anyway, I've been waffling on long enough now. Let's get started. But first, Hayden has already been painting these for 2 weeks. So let's have a quick look and see where he's at.
Hey dude, I hope you're good. I've had a complete fucking nightmare here, to be honest. I think I've had a bad primer, or the surface I was priming on kicked up some kind of dust or something. But I've ended up, I don't know if it's clear on the video here.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Ended up with basically, like, fucking, I mean, I had a good distance and everything, with the primer. I don't think you can see
Clearly
this
not.
sort of dusty. I mean, some of it I didn't even notice, so I just like, pushed on with the silver, gunmetal even, and you can see even more there, this kind of
Plenty of time to catch up.
fucking dusty,
Oh, imagine how to fix that.
I'm pretty sure it's a bad primer, and I think I had it once before a long time ago.
Did you? So, with his stuff all I think we've got a massive window to catch up here. Everything is all printed, sprayed with Hydrox Brown, and ready to get based up. 5 army stuff already comes with bases, so it's no issues. But for the rest of the stuff, I have 40 by 20mm MDF rectangles from war bases. Huge fan of war bases stuff. You can get MDF bases in any size you need. I use them for pretty much all of my historical projects.
So, it's been another week since I made the last clip, and I've still got all these guys just kind of sitting here looking at me. I've not had the motivation to do it yet. I've been finishing off some other commissions and stuff. And I've just had another update from Mr. Wizard's Brush, and it's looking like he's actually got his finger out.
Right, so here we are. This is the situation. This is what's going on. These guys done painting at least. Basing I'm leaving to the end, all across the board. These guys, everything except the shields are done, because I made that fucking horrible decision to basically paint every single individual White Tree of Gondor and every single shield. These guys need the brown being done on them, on the fucking fuck you. And I'm looking forward to getting to these guys, to be fair, because there's no spears and therefore not as much fucking brown to do. I'm just sick of brown. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. Sick of it.
So I am going to have to drop some of these commissions and get my finger out, because I am now quite far behind. I thought he would take like a month to fix that spray painting issue, because that would have put me out of the game, but he's just powered through. So let's get up, John. Come on, get up and get painting.
So I'm just using my hobby knife to kind of flatten and trim the flash off the bottom of the model strips before super gluing them down in the 2 ranks. Should have probably done this before spray painting them, but we're now onto the kind of controversial bit, if you can really call it a controversy. It's not exactly a big deal, but as we've seen, that Wizard Brush is quite a bit ahead of me. I need to get stuck in fast, and I've decided on a plan to catch up. Now, the best thing to do would be to paint the miniatures, then base them. However, as I'm so far behind, I am just going to glue them down, and I'm just not going to paint the bits you can't see in the second rank. 10mm is a completely different ball game. You can paint all the details on the miniatures, like the Wizard's Brush, painting up all the shields like an absolute mental case, but I'm lazy and way behind, so I'm just going to go for a mass technique. When we have all these ranked up as an army, are you really going to see Bob the Orc's shoes in the second rank of the 3rd Battalion? Nah, you're not going to see it, so I'm going to skip this to help speed up the process. So first up, I'm giving them a coat of silver on all the weapons and armour. This does not need to be neat at all. I'm just firing on this anywhere I think it needs to be. This is, shields, mail, spears, swords, just anything that looks like it should be silver is getting silvered. Skin, usually I do a lot of different colours for my orc skin, but I'm in a rush, so I'm just going to use Wa flesh, and the troll skin will be Word Bearer's red. Now for the hair, clothes, wood and leather, I've got a multitude of different blacks, greys and browns. You can use anything you want here, and I'm just going to randomly apply them across the miniatures on anything that looks like what I just previously said. I really want the orcs to have a kind of random ragtag dirty look, and to do that I'm just going to put these colours across the miniatures as randomly as humanly possible. For the smaller goblins and warg, I actually did something slightly different to help myself. I decided to give them a full dry rush of Steel Legion Brown. It helped me really see what the details were. The wargs then got an even lighter dry brush of bone. And next up, the most important step to bring the miniatures all together, and that is a wash. For this, I'm using Aglax Earthshade diluted with a bit of Lamium Medium. Just covering the minis in this before leaving it to dry. If it turns out glossy, I do have this new product I absolutely love. It's called AK Interactive Ultra Matte. If it does dry really glossy, I'll just paint some of this over the top and it absolutely clears up the issue. I love it. And as you can see, the wash has made this paint job look 10 times less terrible by creating recessed shading, dulling down all the bright browns and silvers and giving them this really kind of ragtag, manky orc look. Now, a PVA spreading on the base. This can be quite difficult because the gap between the two ranks of the miniatures. I recommend using a toothpick, just put some PVA on that and slide that through, or if you have a really fine brush that you don't care about ruining, you can get the PVA in the middle and then just dunk it in, and if you miss some of it with the sand, you're not going to see it because it's so hemmed in between the two minis. Doesn't really matter. Also, I try and make sure and dunk it into the bit without the bigger stones, as at this scale the little tiny stones will look more like massive boulders, so you need to make sure you're using the finest part of the dip. Extra dip. Once dry, the base rim is painted Mournfang brown before the usual tufts are added randomly around the base and some foam flock just for a final little bush effect. And I think this spacing method looks pretty good, but to take the miniatures up just a little bit more, I'm going to give the faces a little dry brush of Strachan green, just to bring out the nose and the cheek features on the minis. You don't think it will add much, but it really, really does. Faces and bases, my friends. Then for some weathering, I want to make them look rusty and manky, so I'm adding some orange weathering powder to water and then dabbing it all over the metals before giving it a dry brush of Stormpost silver. This gives the models a lovely rusted look. I think it looks fantastic. Again, you don't need to be neat, as you won't be able to see the mistakes once the minis are all ranked up on this massive scale. So that is the test piece done for all these boys here. Done a test base for each individual one. And now that means I've got to go and do the rest of the horde. Yay, I'm looking forward to this. Time to batch paint. Now that is my massive orc horde now finished. Very excited to show you these. But before we do that, let's go have a quick look at what Hayden's been up to, because I think he might have pulled ahead a little bit. That was quite a lot of Gondorians there. Probably about double what I've got in orcs, so I think it's time to bring out the big guns, lads. Oh Jesus! Oh, I've just shot myself there. Oh, yep, gonna have to get changed.
We can't compete with that.
Now for the big man, the Witch King himself, flown in all the way from Angmar. The kit is super easy to build, just stick it together with super glue before giving it a lovely all-over coat of matte black from Colourforge. I am in love with Colourforge sprays, I highly recommend them if you haven't given them a shot. I am just going to be dry brushing this with progressively lighter and lighter greys. I started with a Storm Vermin fur, which is like quite dark, and worked my way up by mixing in Celestial Grey, all the way up to a pure Celestial Grey. Now, the Stone Bridge was given the exact same treatment, however, this is also going to get an even lighter dry brush of pure white. This is just to match the films, and also to differentiate it from the Fell Beast, as we don't want them looking the both same shade of grey. All the armour on the Witch King and the Fellbeast is given a nice wee coat of Sorry, I was going to say Stormhost Silver, but I meant to say Leadbelcher, followed by a Null Oil wash. This was then highlighted slightly with the Stormhost Silver. Teeth and claws were painted with a bone and a sepia wash, and they were given a nice big red gob to eat stuff with. And of course, the base is given the same treatment as the rest of the army. Mournfang brown base rim and some lovely tufts and bushes. And with that, the army is done. I did cheat a bit and throw in my Easterlings from my last video. After seeing the amount of Hayden painted up, I kinda needed some reinforcements if I was going to stand a chance against his Guildlore Harad. And now, of course, the usual YouTube blurb that everyone is not bored of at all.
Money, please!
Let me know what you think in the comments, and while you're there, give me a wee like, go on, and share, and subscribe, and ring my f***ing bell end. You know you want to. Give it a ding 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 ding, you know that pish. And finally, of course, a huge thank you to the Patreons and the Shaggers that support this channel. You really do let me continue to do all this absolute nonsense, and I definitely would not be doing this without you or the support, so thank you so much. And of course, go check out the Gondorian half of this story on Hayden's channel. He's actually like a professional filmmaker or some shit, so his stuff looks 10 times more professional than anything I can do, the prick. He is not an arsehole, and I am not salty at all. And with that, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember to give my bell a good old ring.
Yeah, well...
What about if I just wear this? Is this what do you think they'll look like? Look at this.
You look like a bandit.
That's orcish.
You look like a Middle Eastern like dancer.
Belly dancer.
Yeah.
Shut up, plane. Actually, I've got an idea.
Can I pause now?
And I have decided I am not. And I have decided to take the. And I have decided that to help catch up, I am just going to paint the bases. And I have decided to help myself catch up is fucking cunt tits. Hello, guys, and welcome to the next. Hello, guys. Hello, guys, and welcome to the next installment of. What the fuck was that? Hello, guys, and welcome to the next installment of 10mm Lord of the Rings. So, Mr. Hayden from the Wizard's Brush channel has challenged me to build another massive. I've been challenged to build a massive army. So, Mr. Hayden, fucking cunt tits.
So the Witch King just lost to a dog. He killed by no man. God's spite. I am no man.
What the fuck is this game? I've just noticed that these old metal ring wraiths just feel a bit inadequate now compared to these new giant 3D printed ones. Like, your wee baby Fellbeast. Could he have been lying about that? Maybe. Do you think? Oh fuck! There we go. Oh shit! Jesus fucking Christ! How am I trapped in my own jumper? Oh. Ah! forgot what I was going to say now. Something about 10 mil, I think.